Congratulations, you just bought Shovel Knight. Let's talk about RPG Maker. This is a game that gives you all the tools you need to make your own RPG. I remember the time this came out, everybody wanted to make their own Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest type game, but there was one problem. It was on the PlayStation 1.
Let's pop this fucker in. The first thing I should mention is the title screen. We're greeted by several different colored elves, or are they goblins? Is that one female? I don't know, I can't tell. If it is, that's just a tease, because there's no female goblin graphic in the game, and you can only choose 4 colors per graphic, so half of these goblins have the wrong color. Well, whatever. So you're given 2 options, RPG Maker and Anime Maker. Now, I was a kid when anime was at the height of its popularity, and the option to make an anime seemed fascinating. Which would you choose, RPG Maker like the tedious role-playing games, or Anime Maker? So we go into Anime Maker and we're given the options of demo. So I, not knowing anything about this program, expect a demo movie. What is so demo about this? This is as far from a demo as you can actually get. In fact, this is apparently the main editor of the game. What really gets me is that they expect you to hand draw graphics with this thing. Are you kidding me? Seriously, are you kidding me? With a PlayStation D-pad, they want me to hand draw graphics? Are they high?
You'd have to be some lonely basement-dwelling denizen who spends his entire life on the internet while surfing Japanese moe animes to watch all day while munching on Cheetos and drinking energy drinks and wearing your 20-day-old shirt and only brushing your teeth once every 3 months and it's also allergic to natural light. And even then, you'd need a rainy day to want to hand-draw graphics.
You can't use the analog stick, believe me, I tried. So what we're left with is the D-pad, and yes, they intended for you to use the fucking D-pad. What am I supposed to draw? Squares? It's like drawing on an Etch-a-Sketch. There's other options, but it's more of the same shit. There's also a strange animation mode where you can make sprite movies with anime girls and their animal friends. So that's Anime Maker. What a piece of crap. I guess now we have to address the main game, the RPG Maker itself. The first thing you'll notice is that this game has more of a Super Nintendo style graphics than the early 3D ones that were common at the time. But before we delve into the madness that is editing and maintaining a game, let's play the sample game. Yeah, it's called Gobbly's Adventure, or just Gobbly. Okay, I don't know what the deal with the pigs is, but we open to a bunch of heroes fighting goblins. It's an autoplay fight, so just sit back and watch.
And right off the bat, we see the combat system in this game. It's sort of a first-person styled RPG, like Dragon Quest. In fact, you could say it is almost exactly like Dragon Quest.
One thing you'll notice is that the dialogue is deliberately made to sound generic and cliche. Maybe it's the novelty of the RPG Maker software being able to make such games, but shouldn't you promote creativity with your sample game? No, you shouldn't. This whole game is just a tutorial. Clearly I'm looking too deep into this. What's this? You can change your job class from goblin to cat? Does he instantly morph from a goblin into a cat? He's an animal that morphs. Gobbly is an animorph. So you walk through Common Town and you meet a hole in the wall that talks and suffers from hyperactivity after a monkey jumps through him. And his name is Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
And he joins your party. Great. And he follows you around on the overworld. Neat. But is there an option to turn this off?
Of course not. What? Were you expecting to have control over the creation of your game? Fuck your shit. You're gonna sit down and take it in the ass. Like a real man.
This is about the part where you realize that monsters do too much damage, your equipment is shit, and money is scarce. Gobbly's Adventure is one of the hardest games I've ever played. I got farther in Demon Souls than this shit. Eventually, the tutorial game overcomes you and you die, and you have to start all the way at the beginning. Fuck that.
This game is brutally unforgiving. But now, let's actually examine the creation of a game.
Here we get a menu with a bunch of options. Let's start with the title cards. Well, not really much to say. You can edit your own title card using stock backgrounds, or if you're that much of a loser, you can make your own with Anime Maker. Moving on, we have Gameplay Edit. Wait, what? Why is all this shit turned off? Magic defense, abilities, classes, skills? Why is it all off? Turn that shit on! What, is it too complicated to have magic defense in an RPG? So naturally, you'd move on to characters. Well, here, you realize you've only got space for about 15 characters. kinda lame, but the restrictions are what you'd expect from a PS1 game. It's about this point you realize that you have to input all the text in the game manually, letter by letter, using only the D-pad. Why can't I plug in the PlayStation keyboard? That piece of shit only works on the PS2, I assume. But then you realize there's gonna be a metric shit ton of text for you to write, from characters' names to dialogue to naming the areas and events, and you have no keyboard. You even have to write the generic obtained 10 gold message that pops up when you open a chest. Come on! Was it too unheard of to have it automatically tell you what's in the chest when you use a treasure event? Jeez!
The only thing worse than typing with the D-pad would be if they somehow took a step in the wrong direction to make you type like a cell phone, you know? Where you press buttons for like the numbers and the letters at the same time. Ha! But that's just pointless conjecture. No company is stupid enough to... You motherfuckers!
So you cycle through all the characters you can use as your main party. You got all the RPG cliches. Warriors, monks, clerics, wizards, the royal family, peasants, a baby, and all the monsters. And animals too. You get 4 colors for each graphic or sprite. A nice touch. And a bunny girl too. Right. Moving on. So you're editing the stats for every character. What do all these things do? Agility, defense, luck, magic defense, skills? Look, I know I said earlier that shit like magic defense wasn't too complicated for this, but I was wrong. There is so much shit for you to individually edit that it makes your fingers numb, and you haven't even started on the dialogue. For monsters, we have more of the same shit. You got slimes and bats and goblins and ghosts and zombies and dragons and robots, Gundams, priests, old people, Robocop, Death himself, Ifrit? No, Efreet. A fucking praying mantis with a woman's face? Then we got this guy. He was everybody's final boss. Either that or fucking Omega Weapon here, but you can only get him if you sacrifice 2 blocks of data on your memory card. What a piece of shit.
You shouldn't have to sacrifice blocks of data to customize your game. That's another thing that you'll remember about this, is that it ate all your PlayStation memory.
I often found myself forced to choose between game creation and game saves, to the point that I deleted almost an entire memory card worth of blocks to make space for this beast. What a hog! Each card is only 15 blocks and you have to take up all of it? So here we've got dungeon creation. This mode kinda irks me because you have to choose an inside or outside first, and depending on your choice it gives you different tile sets to use. What kind of bullshit is that? There's only certain items you have inside, and certain from the outside tile sets. What the fuck? Why can't you just let me have every graphic on one tile set? With no layers at your disposal, you've gotta be creative with object placement, and if that one thing you need, that single thing from the other tile set is not offered, you're gonna find yourself compromising and pissed off. Another thing about the tile sets is there's no way to know where everything is. You can't zoom out or choose from a list. No, you've got to know where everything is. It's a fucking memorization tool. So here we have world map creation. It's like working through a giant jigsaw puzzle, except for the fact that you can't see where everything is at once. Again, you've got to know where everything is. So let's talk about events. God, there's so much shit in this game. So events are the script in your story, and for once, using the events tool makes sense. You click on an area that you want a person or say a treasure chest, and you can edit what it says and what it gives you. This is intuitive, until you start learning about switches and flags. What a necessary evil these things are. When you set a switch to turn on, that means other events are affected by having a second page to their script. That means if you kill the big bad boss, you can have the townspeople react to his death or something. I don't know, get creative.
Managing all this shit is like trying to micromanage the New York Yankees. Bazing! Wait, was that even a joke?
Oh, wait, I forgot to put a starting point, let alone starting characters.
In conclusion, this game is exactly what it said it was. It was a toolset designed to help you make your own RPG game.
Sure, it had constrictions and standards, and it was hard to customize visually, and the text input gets monotonous sometimes, but it can be forgiven of its flaws because it didn't make things needlessly complicated for the most part, and giving you a variety of options. There's a reason this series went on for so long, and being the third in the series, this game allows the use of impressive tools that, with the right person using them, may be able to make a memorable game.
Too bad the sequels are fucking horse shit.
This is the end, my only friend, the end of our dear love.
This is the manual for the game. Gotta be around 70 pages. Look at this beast. I guess it's expected from this monster of a game, but goddamn, look at all this text.